Once upon a time, there were 3 conservatories. In summer, one was too hot. In winter, one was too cold. But the one with the unique foil quilt system was always just right.
The unique conservatory heat reflective insulation system reflects heat and glare in the summer and locks in warmth in the winter.
And with a 10-year insurance-backed guarantee.
Visit conservatoryinsulations.com for your free quote today.
Welcome back to the Manchester Real Tennis Club for the final of this year's Category A Open Championships and 0 to 9s. We've had an excellent tournament so far. My name is Ben Gatenbeek. Joining me for this final is Henry Henry. How are you doing, Henry?
Great match of tennis.
So your microphone's on now. Try that again.
Great. Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Very pleased to be here to watch another good match of tennis.
Right, so let's have a look at the players for this particular match. Starting with the man who just came through the semi-finals, Lewis Williams. Tell me about Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis, I mean, as we saw in the semis, he's a hard-working player. He'll grind it to the ground. He saved, 2 match points against Darren. And yeah, he got a lot of spirit on court. He's going to work hard.
Looking through Lewis's career highlights here. And he's not previously won this tournament before. Reaching the semi-final stage last time around against Levi Gale. So this will be his first crack at the 0 to 9s final. It's about something he'll be very, very happy to add to his record. The form guide, straight wins
5
all through the
wins,
Tampa Tour and the FLM Super League, and now through the early rounds of this competition, including a Tampa Tour match against Nino at his home court of Leamington back in March, which he won in straight sets.
A close 2 sets, so I think we are in for a treat today.
His opponent Nino has come through to this final after receiving a walkover in the previous round due to an unfortunate injury to what would have been his opponent Levi Gale in his match against Max Truman, where he slid into the wall and busted up his elbow. He's already the Category B champion, and he'd love to become the Category A champion as well. This is his 3rd attempt at this tournament, and is definitely past his previous best.
Yeah.
Form guide for Nino Merola, only losing to Lewis Williams in that recent time. Craig Greenhouse is your marker for today. Just waiting for the crowd to get settled here.
Nino opting to keep the serve off the back wall.
So how will the styles differ between these two players?
I think as we saw in the semi-final there, between Lewis and Darren, Lewis loves a good dead on and loves a good boast to get his strings through the ball. And I think Nino's happy to do the same, but also happy to rally it out. Very tactically aware, so I'm sure we'll see a variation of serves here.
So Lewis had just coming off a semi-final earlier on, on court about 45 minutes ago. How will that factor into it, do you think?
Yeah, well, I think obviously Lewis will be a bit tired if this game goes to 3, maybe even 2 long sets, but I think he'll get a good advantage early on. He's probably a bit warmer than Nino, so he'll be looking to really come out the blocks firing and try and reduce his time on court here.
More of the Manchester faithful climbing through into the dead on, really packing it out now. There's a lot of members up in the restaurant for lunch just now, as they're slowly making their way down to watch this fantastic final. So first game goes to Lewis. A little bit tentative from Nino, really.
Well, I think he'll take his time to settle. Hasn't played for, well, since yesterday, but didn't get that semi-final, more court time. I think he'll be happy for just a slow start to try and play his way into it against this Lewis, who has just come off the back of good win for him.
I think the other thing that Nino was able to do is to watch. He was watching that match between Lewis and Darren very closely, trying to figure out what was working, what was not working in Lewis's game at the moment. I think it's a big advantage that Nino's had going into this match.
Good finish there from Nino. These are two players who practice together frequently, so know each other's game very well. I wonder how that's going to reflect on tactical decisions.
Yeah, Nino is the pro at Radley, and Lewis is the pro at Leamington, which is about a 50-minute drive away. Lewis is very keen on targeting Nino's backhand at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit tentative to start with, so I'm sure he'll play himself in. There's the first main ball we've seen of the match so far. Shot that was prominent in the last one between Lewis and Darren. And that, I believe, is the opening dead on.
Yes, indeed. Lewis has already hit 26 of those today. So, first little lead going to Lewis. This is what we're kind of expecting, with Lewis still being relatively hot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think having just played, he's got a bit of an advantage near the start, but Nino would like to just keep him on court as long as he can. That's Lewis, smashes one towards the top corner of the dead on. There's another straight dead on there from Lewis. Third of the match already. And that is Nino's second grow. Quite a few targets to start us off here.
Yeah, how do you see how the court comes into this? Because this is Nino's first time in Manchester. He's had missed out on the opportunity to play one game. Will he be used to the court yet?
Most people reckon it takes around 2.5 hours to get a decent knowledge of the court. And Nino has been on court, I believe, for over that. So he gets slightly fortunate with that one.
Yeah, both players starting to find their range a little bit now. Nino looked like he'd thought that he'd killed that a lot sooner than he had, and the ball just kind of kicked up out of the nick there.
Yeah, I think it's quite a bouncy court here. So
Because I think at Radley that ball's staying down on in the nick.
yeah, it's quite a big nick at Radley. But just gonna have to be a bit more wary of that ball coming back here on a bouncy court. He does enough there.
I think Nino's playing the timbre a lot more than Darren was relatively speaking, in their match that just concluded in the semi-final. I think Darren kind of ignored the timbre and didn't really put Lewis under that kind of pressure, just in and around the grill.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation.
because Lewis can get himself in a bit of a muddle around tempers he's not too familiar with. Because he's got this weird habit of playing the temper shots on his forehand, even though he's a right-hander.
You see Rob Fay doing that quite frequently. He did it a lot at Preston for the World Championships against Camden. But it is pretty unorthodox.
It's the first chase in a long, long time. I think it's been about 5 or 6 minutes since we last had a chase.
And as you say that, he sets another.
So 2 chases here, 1 and 2, and better than second. It's the first real chance we're going to see Lewis Williams serving. He's been stuck down the hazard end for like 3 games now. But Lewis seems to be playing a completely different game to what he was against Darren. Just pushing the ball for length a lot more than he was, I think, especially once he got through that second set against Darren, but even through the first set, he was just bringing the power, bringing the pace. It's changed up a lot already.
It's a good restrictive serve there from Lewis.
So 3-1 now to Williams. Just looking to extend this lead a little bit. Needs to strike while he's still warm before he runs out of energy completely. Nino's done well there. He was fully prepared to step back and take a few more steps away from that play at the backhand. But just kind of hits that outside edge of the grill.
It's interesting to see Lewis opting for an underarm twist. Against Darren, he finished the match serving a lot of PKs and railroad PKs.
I think it just shows to be good at this game, you do have to be able to play lots of different styles.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the people who just play one style tend to get unstuck a little bit when they come up against someone who figures out a way to new to those weapons. I think most famously is Rob Fay over the years. He's really, really good at adapting his style to whatever challenge was coming up against him. It's something that some players just seemingly can't do, and it kind of forms a roadblock for them in their development.
Yeah, you talk about having a plan B, maybe even a plan C, just to give you that support if your plan A is not working.
I think one of the things with Nino is he's got plans A through Z and then double A through double Z.
Yeah.
Which can kind of get, at times, get him in a bit of a muddle, just because he can overthink sometimes.
Got away a bit lucky there. Yeah, I haven't seen him practice that one much, but if he has been behind closed doors, then fair play to him.
One of the things that Chris Ronaldson says about serving is to have one or two serves you can bring out on the most important points of the match to get you a point, and then put them away for the entire rest of the set. Is that Manchester net tape? It flies so much off that. Nino's done well to judge it all throughout this week. Just playing off that ball that just clips it on its way through.
Good shot from there. It's a good serve by Nino. Lewis did well to scrape it out with the boast, and then got a good get behind the timbre just to make it awkward there for Nino.
I think one of the things that will also be different for this match compared to the earlier match is the conditions of the sunlight on the court. So the sun's moved across the court now, so the shadows are coming left to right as you look down the court. Whereas before, in the early match, especially at the start, the sun was directly in the eyes of the serving player.
There is Nino's first dead on of the match.
Yeah, Nino doesn't hit those dead-ons with the kind of pace that Gordon or Flynn will, but he gets them accurate when he does. You don't see him missing high an awful lot when he does go for it.
It's a great read from Lewis on that first volley off the bottom of the dead one.
It was. He picks up those kind of shots more often than he should. Whether it's off the ledges or off the bando, he's got a very quick reaction time to those kinds of shots.
It's a great weight off that volley. Wasn't going to get to the back wall, so Nino was forced into having to run across and get to that. Good control.
So Nino's 4-1 down in the first set. I don't think it's quite panic stations for him just yet. He was 5-2 down in the first set against Zach. Lewis is probably a bit of a tougher challenge than Zach, but I think just he has the ability to just bring it to the occasion for 3 or 4 games in a row and then kind of go quiet again. I wonder if that's kind of what he needs to do here.
Yeah, but I think Nino's happy just to play himself in. It's still relatively early doors in this match, and I think there's still a few signs of a bit tentative shots. I'm sure he'll use this break now just to bring himself together, think about next few points and serves, and then try and gain back a little bit of momentum, which is probably needed to work his way back into this first set.
I think the pace of the game is already different to the semi-final that we saw earlier today. I think there, Darren, when he was under pressure from being at the brunt of Lewis's dead-on hitting, kind of kept the pace of all the time between the points quite low, the pace of the game very high. Didn't really give himself a chance to take a breather and refocus, which is what Nino I think does particularly well, is he just slow the game right down if he needs to, just to finish his calculations about what he needs to be doing. Merola getting the bulk of the serve so far this match.
Just snuck over the net there from Lewis. Don't think Nino was expecting it. don't think he was expecting that one either.
Yeah, they just kind of floated over at a slow pace. Not really the kind of dead on you expect Williams to be hitting. I think there Nino's just gone the kind of serve that Lewis was hitting well against Darren. Just as Lewis himself was trying to look like he was wanted to start to wind up to hit some more dead-ons. Proved a fairly effective serve in that previous semi-final. So Henry, how have you adjusted to the court over your time up here this week?
I haven't actually been on court that long. I lost in 2 sets to Vaughan on the Friday in the first round, but yeah, I think it's quite bouncy court, so just moving your feet a lot and just trying to... The ball comes to the middle a lot as well, off quite a quite bouncy sidewall as you see there. So I think, yeah, always being aware, not really giving up on balls. That's probably the advice I'd give to anyone travelling here. And that is a great cut volley there from Nino at an important point.
Yeah, this court's somewhat famed for rallying and or target hitting. I don't think we've actually seen that much rallying so far this match.
I think
go on.
I was going to say, I think that's fair looking at the players from here. You've got Rob Shankman, who's known for keeping the ball in play, good rallier. And then Darren, who, as we saw in the last match, loves the target, loves the kill shot.
Yeah, see Caterpillar. Is it?
And Nino smiles to the dead on.
Is it a Caterpillar or is it a
That is a...
overhit boomerang or something crazy? What would you call that serve?
I know this one. I'll get back to you on that.
Definitely caught Williams off guard though.
And that's a good kill from Nino. I think that serve is called a Viper.
A Viper?
Trying to smack it off that back wall and into the hazards to win a chase.
Now that's one I've not heard before.
I could definitely be wrong there, so if you do know, then do pop that in the YouTube comments.
What I'd love is someone to put together a serving dictionary.
I think Chris Ronaldson's probably the person for that.
Yeah, probably very likely. Though Nino has great knowledge of his serves as well.
I wonder where he got that one from.
It was definitely the kind of serve to pull out on once a set kind of serve, not something you'd serve point in, point out.
Yeah, well, as we saw, Lewis read it well, so I don't think Nino's planning on doing it again, but I think that's the nature of the serve. It looks like a caterpillar, and it comes out of nowhere to shock the opponent.
Looks like Nino's settled a bit more now. Just happy to up the pace a little bit more and start to really put Williams under pressure around that timbre corner again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's finding a really nice length around that timbre. He's hitting a few hard onto it. But as we saw in that point just then, he's happy just to chip it low and force Lewis in towards it.
Yeah, because I have to say, honestly, I forgot the timbre existed during that last semi-final.
I forgot the floor existed, but
Clear hazard a yard here. Goes the high back wall. Great volley by Williams to keep himself in it. One thing that Lewis can do when he's playing a ball that's so far up the court, he doesn't actually get back. He just keeps playing the rest of the rally from around about a yard worse than last.
Well, he did a good job there. He's going for... I'd like to say that's a PK, but with that railroad action, there's probably another name for it. But Nino does well to hit a nice cut shot into the forehand corner.
Yeah, so this is the part of the game that we saw Darren struggle with. Because he was hitting really good length chases through most of the first 2/3 of that semi-final, and Lewis was just able to pick off dead-ons at will.
And here is a place where Lewis would like a dead-on.
Yeah,
So worse than one on the floor.
So you see how Nino approaches this serve to try and cut down that shot.
He does well there.
Yeah, that ball had a lot of spin back on it. Lewis just wasn't quite in the right position to be hitting that shot with any kind of accuracy.
It's always difficult to force the ball coming towards you as well, I find.
It's coming towards you but then spinning away.
Yeah, I mean, lots of process. And Nino brings it back to 3-4.
That's such a crisp volley from, you hear the sound of it on those strings.
It was a good read. I think he saw that quite early. It's a good ball there from Lewis. Another grove from Nino.
Fifth grill from Nino. I think part of that's just because he's been spending a lot of time down this service end. So is the blues out here at Manchester, right?
The blue is out here. And I think that was the argument whether it hit or not, but Mark is always right, so.
let's have a look at that in-out call. We don't really have a good angle on it because it's not the kind of court where I have camera set up. So it's hit penthouse and it's just there. I think Lewis probably has a good case for it. But it's very hard to say for sure. Yet again, it's not part of the court where you tend to want to have a lot of balls be hit. But I think it's probably just, on the balance of probabilities, probably just hit the bottom lip of that blue out of court area.
Yeah, and you can't really tell by sound there, it wasn't hit very hard, just glanced it. I think it's a different material.
So advantage to Lewis, worse than last gallery is the chase. Out of nowhere, Merola brings the force.
That's an important time in the set as well. It's Lewis's first grill of the match.
Lewis does the limbo under that one. This feels very key for the context of this match. Again, Lewis already has 2 hours of tennis under his legs. Nino does not. So Lewis would especially like it not to go to 3 sets.
That sneaks in there.
Yeah, so I think 3 sets would favour Nino in all likelihood. So this first set is so key for Lewis. Probably more so for him to close this set out than for Nino to.
Yeah, I agree. But I think Nino would also really like to win this set.
Yeah, you don't want to lose a set, but I think the person who needs it more is probably Lewis.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Defending chase 5 here. That is a great crafting of the point there from Nino. Lovely tight serve, left Lewis with not many options.
Yeah, Nino tends to look 2 or 3 strokes ahead in the rally, whereas some players will just play the ball that's in front of them to whatever the best position that they can. Be a bit impatient.
It's good disguise there from Lewis. Nino initially wrong-footed. And that is a lovely volley there from Nino.
I think, in a way, that's the difference between this match and the previous one, is Nino is willing to go across there and volley that. I think Darren was a little bit too keen just to let that ball float into the dead on and try and serve better next time. Nino showing that if you do go and volley that, you can bring rewards.
And I was positioned in a perfect spot to see that one go in. I'm just where that ball ended up, and it was, I think it would have hit the edge and then just sneaked into the dead on, so it's great coverage.
Very tight game here. 6th deuce of this particular game. Looks like the set is turning on how this game ends.
Cuts down there. Another game point there for Williams.
Big result for Lewis Williams. Gets the game 5-3 up now. All to do for Merola in this set. Long way back into it.
It's a lovely length on that second volley there for Nino, but
It's a pretty good volley just to put it into the forehand for good measure anyway.
Lewis taking his time to pick that ball off, and Nino. Not sure what that was, Nino, but and that is where that volley practice into the forehand corner comes in handy, as he just points out to the dead on. Lovely shot there by Nino, great weight.
Just going to point out in this set so far, Lewis is at 13% chases laid, whereas Nino is up at 39%. So Lewis at the moment not getting a lot of chases, very happy to just stay at the receiving end and hit those dead ons. Conceding most of the serve to Nino.
What's impressed me about Nino so far this set is the weight he's getting behind those volleys. He's never overhitting, he's just getting his strings on the ball.
Or a frame.
Sorry about that one, Nino, but bar that one.
Big point here, 30 all with a short taste to come.
Glad Nino did win that point, because I felt a bit bad. Commentator's curse.
I think in that particular point, it just shows to what the value in putting a racket on that force is. Because they weren't, the two that he did volley weren't amazing, but they still put it back in play. And eventually the errant force came because Lewis had to try just a little bit too hard for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Merola was able to put it away. So important just to keep asking the questions, saying, are you good enough to do 3, 4, 5 shots in a row, and eventually you'll make a mistake and I'll capitalise. That's the game that Merola's playing at the moment.
I think that also players have a tendency, once you've hit one force, comes back to try and slightly up it and up it and up it until you get a good result, but eventually you're going to go a bit over the top and over the dead on sometimes as well.
Yeah, very hard to just take the pace off after you've hit 2 forces.
Chase 1 and 2 here.
called stroke, I think it would have been on the floor anyway.
Nino will be very happy with that. He brings it to 4-5. It's an important one for Lewis to win here.
Yeah, so just have a quick look at that one in the corner. First bounce there, and if it's a stroke or not, which I don't think actually is, it would have beaten the chase anyway. Chase was 1 and 2, and it's fallen a yard there. So I think there's a noise of Lewis just getting a bit of racket on the back wall, which is what Craig would have picked up on. But I think the right result in the end, really.
Yeah, I mean, from that angle as well, it's a bit difficult to tell. Nino seemed to think the ball moved back towards the main wall. Good length from Lewis. Gonna have to find a better length here. Just about.
We'll bring that chase off to you in just a sec. I've got a few words to say on that, but we'll wait for a bit of a break and play for it.
Ooh. I'm gonna guess it fell turn 3. I haven't seen your screen, but I don't know. Nino seemed to leave it very confidently, but no complaints from Nino, so that could mean he might have beaten it. Well, I'm sure we'll have a look in a second.
For those keeping track at home, that's Lewis's 37th dead-on today. It's almost a whole basket of dead-ons. Certainly it's an Oxford basket of dead-ons.
That had some great cut there from Nino. Important point to win there. And he has a point to make it. 5 games all in this first set. Will he convert?
That's gone through the net.
5 all in this first.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a gap in the net between the netting and the wall. It's just gone straight through that very cleanly. Would you be leaving a hazard in the 5-all game if you're Lou Williams?
I don't think he had much of an option there. I didn't think he expected it to hit that back wall, but server's end is the server's end. But as the Australians say sometimes, hazard is as good as a point, so that is a lovely kill there from Nino. Perfect weight. Bring it to 15 all.
Great line from Nino
I think
Merola.
that is definitely deserved of a big fist bump there for Nino.
Just
3 really good reads.
absolutely, and then just the perfect line to finish on.
He's playing to a lovely length so far this set.
I'll go to another hazard. So let's look at this ball from earlier. So this, remember, this was worse than 2. So it comes in, first bounce in the neck, and the second bounce is just
2
there.
and 3. That's 2 and 3 to me.
And I think it's hard to say because the line is very faded.
I think it.
But I think
half and half on worse than 2 and 2 and 3.
I think if you're calling a VAR on that, not knowing that the chase is already worse than 2, I think you call that 2 and 3.
I agree.
But I don't think that chase off is a bad call there.
I think that's fair analysis.
So if I saw that and was awarded worse than 2, hence a chase off, I don't think you can be disappointed with that. It's very hard to tell because the line for the half yard is so faded.
2 hazards to defend here. 30-15 Nino leads. And that is a lovely force and great timing for it as well. To bring up the first set point.
It looked as though he was going to try and play it high back wall, and it did manage to keep it down into the dead on.
Hazard worse than 2.
So I think it caught Lewis out just from the height of it, really. Another hazard here. Tried to play that into the galleries. It wasn't quite the right ball for it. Into the galleries, all down the line, really, but... Second set point. That Manchester net tape is crazy, isn't it?
I think the difference is there doesn't seem to be, I don't know the proper thing, but tubing in that coloured segment of the net. Most courts have some sort of, some
sort of weight to them.
Weight, yeah, I think that's probably it. And this just seems to be similar to a tennis net.
Yeah, anything that's hit over it has picked up a lot of topspin and hasn't lost any pace. So by the time it hits the back wall, it's just flying up in the air at head height. Second set point.
That is the set, and that is a big acceleration there from Nino. Got to be happy with that, bringing it back from 5-3. Similar to what he did against Zach in that first set, from 5-2 down.
5-3 down. He was also 4-1 down earlier on as well. So he has done particularly well. Just a little bit of movement in the dead-ons as a few of the patrons are off back to the bar to pick up some more drinks.
As they should.
Been fantastic support here from the Manchester members. They get underway in the second set. There's a chance that Nino can go a bit flat here. Just got to be really careful that he doesn't. This is what happened in his match against Zach earlier in the week. He won from behind in the first set and dropped a few games early in the second. He's using that base of timbre really well.
He's controlling it well, yeah. Once they get a chase here, I think we've got a chance to look at this stroke call from Lewis, if Ben has done that in time. Oh, he has.
Smith there, and it is, yes, but that's absolutely a stroke. Which Lewis, I don't think he actually had his eyes on it. He did well to to pick it up on it. So 1 and 2 is the next chase. I think that's the right shot to play there, try and cut it down to the corner. I don't think there's a force on there. I don't think there's anything towards the backhand side that you can do there. It's just very difficult to do off of that particular serve with that amount of backspin on it.
I think Lewis would also probably expect that to go to his backhand as well. It's fair to say Lewis did deserve that 2 good gets. Bring him to deuce.
Yeah, so as I said, Nino just has to avoid going flat at the start of the second set. That was a very lazy shot. So let's see the numbers and figures behind that first set. 49 minutes. Look at those chases laid. 13% for Williams, 41% for Merola.
Much better chases there for Nino as well. I think he's finding great cut on this court, and you need it to keep it low. Points won though, 41 to 40, which does.
It tracks for a 5-all,
yeah,
or a 6-5 set.
Points served as well, 75 to 29.
Nino's just had some very long runs at the service end throughout that set.
I think that's got to be the driving force behind that momentum that he managed to pick up from 3-5 down.
Possibly, but he's also keeping the serve a lot in the first part of the set. We dropped to 4 games to 1 down. Roof's just a little bit too low for that shot. Do not try that shot at home, kids. Yeah, what's happened to Nino here? He's just switched off a little bit since he won that set. Just needs to find a way to wake up again. Really twist that knife in.
That's a lovely shot from Lewis. Good length.
Now I realised in the pre-match we didn't actually look at the head-to-head. So this is the head-to-head between these two players, and they're 1 each going into this particular match.
And all very close sets.
Both in the T&RA Tour matches. So T&RA Tours at Hollyport and Leamington. Just how tight these two are against each other. They're both very similar on handicaps as well. Similar-ish records. So this is going to be yet another epic between these two players.
Yeah, well they've played on record there 5 sets in total, and 4 of them have gone 6-5. 1 in Lewis's favour and 3 in Nino's. That's a lovely ball from Nino. He'll be very pleased with that.
Yeah, because that ball's coming up on it as well. He played that force, you know, chest to shoulder height. That little sprint will hurt going into a fifth set for the day for Lewis Williams. Just the second set from Merola. That's got to play a big part in how this match concludes. Again, Merola did not play a semi-final. He got the walkover against Levi Gale, who is nursing his arm in a sling at the moment. We hope that he recovers quickly.
Nino acknowledges that good height on the force there from Lewis towards the neck.
Really pops off the ledges here at Manchester, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think anything on this court that is blue is very bouncy. The net cord, penthouse, ledges.
Chase lines. Half-guard chase lines.
That's, yeah, I mean, the whole court's pretty bouncy, so.
Yeah, but you can see the discoloration in the floor where the feet have worn down over time.
I quite like that. I think that's quite aesthetic.
It's quite aesthetic, but it means that the bounce can be unpredictable in those areas. Just because it's going to take a little bit of a different in the way that the ball kicks and bites into that spin move, whether it's hitting paint or just bare flagstone, or a combination of both. Several of the players have been saying it's been really hard to knock up with the feeds because there's a big dead patch where you'd normally place a feeding ball.
Yeah, the centre of that about hazard 1, hazard half. Lewis just looking for a quick start to the second. There it is, 2 games to love.
Yeah, that back out line is very low. It's got these wings up to the side for the ball to hit the back penthouse. It could very easily be another 2 meters high, that high back wall.
Yeah, I think the side wall could be as well. Lovely shot there from Nino. Just swerved from right to left into that backhand side of the dead on.
They said at the start of the set that Nino had to avoid going flat, and that's exactly what he's done now. Staring down another 3-game deficit.
Bang.
I mean, I guess it's a good way to get out of a little bit of a slump to whack a few dead-ons. Just feel like you're in the game a bit. wakes you up a bit.
It's a second consecutive dead on.
Yeah, unfortunately for Nino, the crowd has already seen 71 dead-ons today, so they're not impressed by it anymore.
I think they might have seen 73. 'Cause I think missed one in the last match.
It's 51 plus whatever we're up to this week.
This game. And I also think we have just missed another count, because I think Nino has hit, I'd say 7 in this match.
There you go.
Yeah, Nino's
16 so far this match, plus 51 in the previous one. 77 grills. Dead-ons.
I think Craig missed one, so I'd go for 78. If you're watching at home, you can correct me, but I think Craig missed the one to take it to juice in this game even.
Oh no, if it goes to juice, it won't come up as a little stat on the screen, just because the juice tag overrides it.
I stand firmly corrected.
Craig's been very keen to click them all. There's been quite a bit of discussion about records being broken between the two matches around the Manchester Tennis Club. 71 targets in the previous match. We think the highest that we know of is 84 in a non-World Championship match. Because World Championship matches are over 9 or 13 sets, so it's just not fair to compare those.
I think it would be interesting to work out what was the highest amount of... Are we saying dead-ons or just openings?
Just all openings. Because I was looking up on Court Stats, which is a great site compiled by Giles Doyle, which has stats on all matches played at the for ranking points going back at least 5 years. And he only lists total targets per match, not dividing them up into per player. I'm sure that he has the data in there somewhere, so Giles, if you are listening, we'd love to know in your database what's the most dead-ons you've got.
I think I've got a decent guess as to who'd be at 1. Just a hunch.
So if you look, this tournament so far, Lewis has hit 61 on his own. 35 to Long and 17 to Merola. Remember that Merola's missed a match. And then as a percentage, that's not right. That one's 17% of all points down the receiving end. He's hitting into the dead on.
Wow.
So that's 1 in 6 points he's getting from the receiving end as dead ons. Chase is the line. Second serve railroad. That is a perfect point from Nino Merola. That is a masterclass in how you play a chase the line. The way that he pushed Lewis across both sides of the court, anticipated the shot at the galleries as well as the force in the start, is just absolutely textbook.
Wow. Nino finding an amazing length again. good lead. He'll be pleased with that.
Again, fantastic tennis from both players. Nino testing out Williams around the timbre. Williams testing out that volley of Merola. At the end of the day, I think this might lift Merola a little bit.
Another great shot from Nino.
So let's have a look at this chase the line again, if we can. Yeah, here we go. And ultimately, the final shot, unfortunately, Williams ends up inside that hazard gallery. Unfortunately, the replay system's just not helping us right now.
I think it gives you a good sense as to Nino's awareness and his movement in that game, in that point of view. And he wins the chase to take it to 2-all. Overcome that slight hiccup. I don't know what that hit, but
Good response by Williams.
he's finding a really good width on this high serve. Just to make it a high drop instead of the sidewall.
He's picked up 3 quick points to try and wrestle back some momentum in this match.
Nino does well just to control that. And is happy to take a hazard.
So hazard a yard here. This is the final match of the Category A Open Championships here at the Manchester Tennis and Racquet Club. If you are enjoying the tennis, the next big event will be the World Doubles Championships starting in the coming week over at Chicago. That will be on the USCTA YouTube channel. So do head across there. Promises to be a fantastic week of tennis. In the meantime, we're hazard a yard here, 40 love.
This time he does not cover the galleries, Nino. And Lewis just plays it in.
I think in the first one, which was the chaser line a little bit before, Nino went and covered the galleries. And when a player does that, you kind of feel that you have to hit the next ball to the forehand side. I think Lewis realised that Nino was going to cover that first one, and then not the second, was able to hit there a second time.
Yeah, I agree. Lewis gets a chase to to start this game off.
Chase 6, yeah. Don't mark from the net.
Better than the second, chases. 6 yards, better than the second.
Yes, that world doubles coming up. Will feature the top 8 players in the world. Riviere and Chisholm, Lumley and Vigona, Howell and Fay, and Sayers and Taylor Matthews. All of that will be kicking off very soon, so go over and check out the USCTA YouTube channel for all of that, and the USCTA website for all of the action, all of the draws and information there. I don't know if there's tickets available still, but if you are in Chicago, it will be the hottest event in town. Chase 6 now.
Lost it. Nearly our worst. 50 love, chase better than the second gallery.
So better than second is the next chase. Feels like the match has turned yet another corner. 2-all, Nino fought back from 2-love to 2-all. And all of a sudden Williams is lifting up to another level again. He's going to end up with 2 relatively quick games to take it 4-2. Nino really has to stop having to win all of his sets from behind. It's becoming a bad habit. I mean, to be fair, I could say the same for Lewis. He needs to stop winning all of his matches from behind.
I mean, I think a win's a win.
A win's a win, but...
I mean, if you can win without having to go behind, then that's definitely going to be a better result.
Yeah, it's all right when you're playing people at your level, but if you want, either of these players want to make the step up to play the top 8, top 12 in the world, you imagine they're going to have to be a bit more dominant through the whole match, not just in parts of it. Now, and Merola has just gone flat again.
This is where we found ourselves in the first set, though.
Yeah, in that first set, at the 4-3 game, we had a very long juice game, 6 juices. That will be so hard to read at Manchester. We've seen a few of the players taking body blows off of main wall forces this week. That ball really centres here. Points here now, Lewis for a 5-2 lead. And that point comes at a critical time for Merola. 30-40 now, still a lot to do to stay in this set.
That's some patience from Nino there. I see that Zach Edel has commented on the YouTube.
Yeah, I'll respond to that. I've got an answer for you, Zach. I'll tell you next change of ends.
Good shot from Nino there. Just be waiting in anticipation to find out the answer to Zach's question. Nino. A short bobble. And puts that under the net.
This match is at such a crucial juncture at the moment. So it does go to 5-2. Definitely advantage Williams in this set. Will back himself, or both players will back themselves to win the set from here, really. But no more margin for error from Merola. Williams looking to close it out. What's been the difference in this set, do you reckon, Henry?
I think Lewis has just relaxed a bit into it. He's changed his serve up and I think gained some momentum through that. And just more recently, Nino's just struggled to find those shorter lengths that he had been playing to base at amber and keeping that second bounce off the back wall. But it's hard to maintain that significant level of concentration.
Oh, what a point. Great pick up off the timbre from Williams, but just finished by Merola.
Lewis calls that one down on himself, but Nino hits a nice volley. And it's an important point here for both players. Nino comes up on top with a hazard chase to play for this next point.
Yeah, so I'll come back to your question in a sec, Zach. This is that point just moments ago. Just spinning around. Unfortunately, the replay is not playing ball today.
Let's hear the answer to that question.
No, I'll keep you in suspense just a little bit longer.
Dying to hear it. How's the chase to beat here from Nino? It's a lovely serve. And that timbre brings Lewis to a set point.
Yeah, set point with the chase better than 3. His first set point of this particular set. He will be looking to close it out. So just while the collect up the balls. The answer is yes, this will be the highest handicap to win a 0-9s. The previous highest was Robert Schenkman in 2019. At the time, he had a handicap of 4.1. Before that, so this is on records going back to 2002. Before that, Matty Ronaldson won off a handicap of 3.4 in 2012. And every other winner has been below 2.5. Both of these players have a handicap above 5. However, in 2015, at the 0-9s, there was also a doubles competition. And that was won by Craig Greenhouse and Anthony Clark. And they were handicaps at the time of 8.4 and 20.1. And they beat Johnny Whittaker and Mark Senior at the time of 17 and 10.9. So there's the answer for you, Zach. Set point better than 3.
Nino defends a set point, but he's still got his work cut out this game. Especially after a turn like that from Lewis. Tricky position, but the boast went to a perfect length.
How did that go over? That shouldn't have gone over. This net quarter is ridiculous. Any other court, that ball doesn't come over. As it stands, mid-distance chase to defend to take the set.
I'm sure we will fact check that one. And he wins the point. This could be interesting.
Another advantage to Lewis Williams.
And that is well composed by Nino, just to finish that point off.
Yeah, I don't have the replay available for that that call, unfortunately. The replay system is just playing up a little bit today. Fourth deuce.
I think that reads Nino's 8th dead on of the match. 19 in total.
Yeah, both of them have been going at it.
I mean, not quite as much as that semi-final.
To be fair to both of these players, they're also putting a lot more defence in. The defence of the dead on was basically absent through much of that semi-final.
I mean, I think they're both accurate in that semi, so it's difficult to defend accuracy.
I mean, it is, but you've still got to put a show in and try and throw your racket at it, right? So this to bring Nino back from the brink.
It's another chase off call. Don't think Nino's too pleased about it. But he does convert to win the game, bring it back to 3-5, where he found himself at the end of that first set. Ooh, tambour edge. That is a lovely shot.
Yeah, so I don't have a replay of that 2 and 3 chase off call. It's just, again, the replay system is just acting up a little bit at the moment. Wow.
Interesting approach. If that went over, then
If that went over, that would have been absolutely incredible.
yeah. Good ball there from Lewis. Awkward depth. Nino has to take it early, otherwise it will be completely dead off that backward with the spin. That's a good serve. At a good time for Nino to bring it to 4 games to 5.
I have to say, if Nino does win this set from here, he's going to be very smug about it for the next little while.
Good decision even from Nino to play that inside out. Just to the base of Tambo, where he has been so accurate this match.
Yeah, he's just been on and off this whole tournament. It just feels like a little bit of his on patch at the moment. Williams just has to hold out and find those 4 points that he needs to take the game, volleying it off the penthouse. Don't see that all too often, because it prevents the ball from being called fault.
It's good patience, just to keep chipping it into that backhand corner until Nino makes a mistake.
Oh, we are bringing out the trick shots, aren't we?
I'm sure Lewis is sick of that. He's definitely not intending on playing all of those shots, but that is his 4th attempt of the match. 3rd or 4th.
Let's see if we can see some of Lewis Williams' trick shots here. Neither of them really working out all that well for him. This first one is a very strange shot to play, really.
I think most players would opt for a backhand on that, but
The second one we don't have for you just at this stage.
30 all. First chase is the last gallery.
Yeah, because he always wants to play off the timbre on his forehand. It's very strange. No one else really plays like it. 30 all.
last gallery.
Last gallery is the chase.
That was good rest.
Yeah, I think at a court that cuts a lot more like a Lord's Racquet court, I think Nino would have taken that, but Williams stays in on that forehand, brings up his 4th set point.
Defending better than second. What will Nino try to do here? Not enough, as he loses the chase, and Lewis, against momentum,
So Nino's taking a 5-minute injury break. Not entirely sure what the injury is, but it looks like he's trying to stretch out a muscle of some description. And while he does that, let's see the stats from that second set. 5 dead-ons to Nino in the set. The chase is laid, looking a little bit more equitable, but Williams really dominating that serve, 65% points won.
only the one dead on from Lewis. I think everyone's surprised about that.
Indeed, and very long chase links as well.
Still yet to see a winning gallery in this match, I think.
I think we may have had one in the first set. Yeah, we had Nino hit one in the first set.
Stand corrected.
So Craig, the marker, is the one out on the court now. He's just going to pick up the balls as well. Nino stretches out. Let's have a look at some of the other statistics of this tournament. It's a good time to wrap up on this. So tournament dead-ons, no doubt about it, will be won by Lewis Williams.
Wow.
A ridiculous 63 put over the course of 3 matches. Grills, at the moment, tied between Williams and Long. Williams still has another set in order to take the lead on that. And the showboating statistic, winning galleries, Long and Levi with 3 apiece. And then the dead-ons, Williams, that's dropping slightly. He's not hitting as many in this particular match. But Williams and Long both teed off in their matches. Then the Grills had him play up at 13% in his first round defeat. That was something that he was against. That was against
Darren.
Darren. Yeah, he was quite proud to beat Darren in that particular match. And don't have that statistic available. And then the summary statistics. The most dominant player in terms of points has been Levi Gale. But he has missed out on playing a semi-final and a final, so hasn't had to play against some of the better players, which is why he still has the lead in that particular statistic. Darren had a very comfortable first round match, probably the most comfortable of any of the players. Dominant servers has been Levi Gale and Max Truman, serving well over 60%. And Merola there at 56%. So interesting to see Luke Danby in there as well at 57%. He returns at the moment. Darren Long winning majority of the points from the returning end. And that, I think, is partly due to that dead-on hitting in that previous semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, we keep referring to it, but that was truly remarkable. The amount of dead-ons in that match.
And Chaser's laid. So this is the number of points from the receiving end that you are hitting as chasers, not as points. And so Levi Gale was dominant on that particular statistic. That normally is around about 20%, which is what it is in this match. And Chasers conceded. Alex Hume, this is the kind of players who cover a lot of court and don't give away a lot of short chases, force the players to hit galleries. To be fair, Darren played against Williams, who wasn't looking to hit chasers. So we are at the moment tied at 1-all here in the final of the 0-9s, with Merola taking his 5-minute injury break. You can see on the court next to him is the marker for this match, the Oxford professional Craig Greenhouse. So you should be underway again fairly shortly.
To we or not to we?
I don't think there was any particular moment that looked like Nino got injured. I think it's just a little bit of a niggle that's flaring up. So the rules on 5-minute injury breaks is that you're allowed 1 injury break per injury. So if he cannot take another 5-minute injury break unless he sustains a separate injury in a separate incident.
I believe you can't take one for cramp as well.
No, so this
because that is considered fitness.
Yeah, but this looks like it's a strain type injury.
Yeah, unless he's pulling a good acting job, but no, it looks.
Yeah, no, I doubt that Nino will be faking it. He's been pretty critical of players who do fake it in the past.
Yeah.
Without naming any particular names. So it looks like we're about to be underway again. We'll wait for the marker to resume. And a lot of the patrons have headed off to the bar once again, so we will expect that dead on to fill up again very shortly. Just remember, this is going to be Lewis's 6th set for today. And he's approaching his into his 4th hour, approaching his 5th hour on court.
Chase 2-3. Chases 3-4, 2-3.
I think he'll be doing well not to show the fact that he's probably quite tired. But he hasn't shown it so far, so.
Yeah, Williams actually does have a surprising amount of stamina. Has played a lot of 5-set matches over the past 2 years. Arguably he shouldn't have got himself into the situation where his match has been going 5 sets, but it does give you a little bit of experience at moments like this.
Eventually left the ball. That was a much easier leave. That's a great volley from Nino, just to find the timbre edge, but that shot from Lewis came almost out of nowhere.
Almost went for the trick shot. So let's see Lewis Williams, how he plays this ball that comes in and out of the grill. Gets the next shot. There you go, bottom lip, top lip. He's always so quick to adjust to any changes to the ball. It's a great eye, great hands. And that's not a great serve. The way this set starts is going to be absolutely critical. Nino took that short injury timeout. What it will do is break up some of Lewis's momentum. Both of them have to find themselves in this final set of this final match. Imagine that the player who gets off to the strongest start in this particular set is going to be pretty good for it. It's going to be very hard to come from behind. I think if you get a 2 or 3 game lead, you start to see the finish line a bit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think also Lewis has been hanging on. His fitness has done well so far. I think if Nino can grab a quick early lead, it might be a bit demoralising.
That's just unlucky, really. I think he had the ball that doesn't hit that lip, side lip of the dead on covered.
It's his second lip out of that grill this set so far. Well, this game even. That's a great rest from the two.
Let's have a look at that stroke call.
Bit annoying to see it end with that.
First bounce by the Tamba, second bounce.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very tight. It's the correct and honest call from Louis Williams, but couldn't get much closer to being a hazard there, really. The way the ball came out from the grill from this end of the court looked like it was going to be a hazard.
That was a close one.
Receiver's advantage, hazard version 2.
That's a very strange decision by Lewis to go up the court like that.
I think he was banking on Nino to miss the dead on. He did, but it was just too low. I think he wanted it to be high back ball.
You do need to be lucky to do well in this game, don't you?
I think there's a common saying that is, the more you practice, the luckier you get.
Indeed.
And I mean, these two both have practiced quite a lot together as well. But I think
Watch Lewis in this replay, because the way that he's crouching for it is really strange. Go to the, I'll show you again at the next change of ends, because it's
that's a good serve there from Nino.
30 off is better than the second gallery. Sorry, a yard better than the second gallery.
Opting for the forehands off the timbre again.
yeah, he does that a lot, Williams. His backhand is kind of with his dropped racket face, just kind of pushing at it. Whereas when he plays it with his forehand and he reads it right, that's when he can get a bit of whip with those quick hands and put his opponent under pressure. So I can see why he does it. It's just very unorthodox to be doing it so consistently to so many balls.
It's a nice rest.
Yeah, so
Bit of backhand to backhand. Let's have a look at this replay then.
nah, sorry, I don't have it for you. Still don't have it. Let's try now. So watch Lewis and look at the time that he does. He's crouching from there. Did he just think the railroad was going to be slightly different to what it was? Because it seems a very odd choice.
Well, I think it was tight enough that he was confident Nino wouldn't hit a gallery. And I think he might have backed himself that it was just good enough that Nino couldn't directly hit a dead on. And Nino, he wound it up as if he were to smack it, and Lewis just banked on it to be a high back wall.
Those legs must be tired now, surely.
Points one, I can't quite see that. That is close.
87 to 85. I was going to say is Lewis is very uncharacteristic for him to leave completely and not chase after a ball going into the forehand corner, which he's just done there. Being in this 6th set of the day for him, it must be difficult. The fact of the matter is, if this were a major, so an Open or a Champions Trophy or something like that, then you wouldn't schedule the semi-finals and the final on the same day. It's not permitted by the rules, but because essentially this is one of the minor tournaments, it's very difficult to run the semi-finals and then run a final on 2 separate days while still keeping all the players around and the spectators around. And with a weekend only 2 days long, it just means that you're ending up going to having to have 2 matches in a day for your semi-finalists and finalists. We're not at the stage as a sport where players can bank on being able to take 3-4 days off for all these minor tournaments where they have clubs to go back to.
Yeah, I think having it across 2 days, the semis and the final, it's ideal, but I think in practice it's unrealistic. I mean, that obviously depends on the size of the draw and the time allocated, but
I mean, we're seeing over
over just a weekend, I think, yeah, it would be expected to have the semis and final together.
I mean, we're seeing over in the US at the moment, the US Amateur with a round of 32 additional stage of the draw, and a best of 5 final. Just means that a lot of tennis for those guys is being crammed into 3 days. To which it looks like the UK's Rob Sheckman is on track to pick up and defend his US Amateur title.
I think Ned Batstone stands in the way of that.
He's playing with Ben Stein in the doubles. If he wasn't over there, he would absolutely be here in Manchester right now. He would.
Sadly not playing because he is
It's too
8+ handicap, yeah.
Yeah, too good.
She's always happy to tell us. That's a lovely length with that volley from Lewis.
Yeah, this is very much the tournament that you don't want to be able to have to defend your title. You want to be graduating up the categories. This is the category A. They run category T&RA run categories G through A. I think there was even a category H this year. New edition for the 70+ handicaps being held at Middlesex. But the category tournaments are very popular all through the month of March.
I think some of them are played at different times. The Cat Bs, the 10 to 19s,
Yeah, Cat
normally
B,
played in August, early September.
yeah, Cat B and Cat A are slightly different because they'll have professionals who have to be paid appearance fees, so it depends on when the sponsors and courts are available, but Cat C through H all tend to happen third weekend of March.
That's good knowledge, that.
The Cat B down at the Hyde is somewhere you've played a couple of times.
Yeah, I believe I'm the current holder of it as well.
Are you going to be able to defend that one, or are you going to want to give that one a miss?
I hope I'll be into single figures by then. I mean, Vaughan Hamilton was my opponent in the final of that, who beat me in the first round of this, so...
He's well and truly into single figures right now.
Yeah, no,
Good couple of points here.
He's done great. Had a great stint at the FLM Super League at Queen's.
Great tablature at Preston as well. He's really coming on and proving he's one of this next generation of players. I think with Vaughan, especially since he's moved to Preston, when he was at Canford, he was a little bit hidden from the scene, and just kind of burst onto it at the moment, working with Levi out at Preston and really improving his game. It's fantastic to see.
Yeah, it's as much as I would like to win, it's good to watch. It's very impressive.
So Nino looking to build up a 3-1 lead. It's the first time he's actually really been ahead in this match. In a set in this match, rather.
That is so unlucky. It's going right in the top corner of the dead on. Nino defending your cameras, Ben. And he takes it 3 games to 1. Merola leads in this third and final set.
So have a quick break while they collect the balls up, and we'll have a very short word from our sponsors.
Once upon a time, there were 3 conservatories. In summer, one was too hot. In winter, one was too cold. But the one with the unique foil quilt system was always just right.
The unique conservatory heat reflective insulation system reflects heat and glare in the summer and locks in warmth in the winter.
And with a 10-year insurance-backed guarantee.
Visit conservatoryinsulations.com for your free quote today.
Welcome back to the 0-9s. You are watching the final match. This is the final set. And you are with Ben Gatenbeek and Henry Henman. Just had a quick break for the balls to be collected. Not a change of ends, just the players taking the advantage of the break in play.
3 games to 1 final set. So leads. Go on.
So 3-1 to Nino.
Let's go, henchman!
It's a good finish there from Nino.
Big shout from Darren Long there. Henchman referring to his teammate at the recent FLM Super League.
Teammate and most valuable player.
Yeah, most valuable player. He won all 3 matches in the main draw, and then the Checkman's Henchman won 3 in the final as well. Nino had an absolutely fantastic tournament. He has really been playing some of his best tennis of his life since he's had his young child Giuseppe.
Big shout out to Seppi if you're watching at home.
And partner Tori. Thanks for loaning us Nino for the last few days. It's been great to have him here in Manchester.
15-all, chase 5.
93 to 92 on the points won. This match is tight.
5 and 6, lost the chase.
It's a good leave there by Lewis.
It's a good lead because he had to judge it quite late too.
Yeah, he had to account for that lower ledge of the devil.
It's not always easy to read how much pace is going to come off a ball like that.
4 to 15.
Lewis has come out strong after this short little break for the collection of the balls.
Game 2, game 3.
So this is that chase. Chase is 5. Spot on. Worse than 5. 5 and 6. Great read from Lewis.
Bang.
Let's go, henchman!
It's a good moment there from Nino.
This match still feels like it's got a fair way to go. I think both of these players will be taking it 1 game at a time now. Just need to get the last few games on the board. Can't get ahead of yourself and assume that you're going to win it, because it is very tight out there.
Good cut there from Nino. 2 2 chases, 15 all.
Yeah, very clearly not up. Didn't really get much on that, so great eyes there from our marker, Craig Greenhouse, who has been doing a fantastic job this afternoon up here at his old home club. So 2 chases here now. Merola really could do with the game because Williams is on the charge.
That is some quality tennis there. Fantastic to see these two battling it out.
Yeah, that was really patient from Nino. Not rushed, just happy to play this backhand to backhand game until finally a bit of luck went his way.
Good getting that forehand corner there. And he has points for 4-2, Nino does.
So let's just have a look at that point again, just see how Nino gets tested in this backhand corner. It's always there to go across and play it. It's just calm and controlled, not needing to do anything extra with the ball, just waiting and waiting and waiting, and the error will come eventually. Then a bit of a fist bump at the end, that's what I like to see.
40-15, receiver leads. Just the last gallery.
Big point here for Williams, you feel. 4-2 would be a very big mountain to climb.
Last gallery to defend. And that is a class shot and a big fist pump there from Nino. Textbook volley in front of the timber. Nino just unleashing a couple, both high. Perhaps getting a bit excited.
Yeah, we saw him take that injury timeout between the second and third sets. So he will want to get off court as fast as possible, one imagines.
Got there, just didn't quite have enough to get it over the net.
Yeah, this game's going very much towards Lewis Williams. He's just, throughout this match, he's been able to pull out some very quick games just to break the flow that Merola has built up. A very important game to love there for Williams.
This is sensible from Nino, just giving himself 5-10 seconds just to have a think and take away a bit of Lewis's momentum. Two chases just to break up momentum a little bit for Nino. It's sensible.
Yeah, he can't afford to get bogged out at the receiving end now.
It's getting down to the business end of the match.
Just watching a few replays here. Big come on from Nino. This was the end of the 2 games ago. Still far from home and hosed. Big points coming up now.
Nino will be looking for a tight serve, just to restrict Lewis. That is a great point of tennis. An amazing serve to start things off and a great return.
Every point here feels like it's got so much riding on it.
That's because they do. 30-15, 1 chase.
See, last gallery length chases are kind of interesting because it's like there's still a lot of options you can play. It's not as restrictive as a floor chase and not as expansive as a hazard chase. So it tends to be around the last gallery where you get to the similar-ish percentages of winning and losing as you would in a normal rally.
Yeah, most people practicing rallies tend to play off around last gallery, worse than last, just to add a bit of a competitive environment and realistic one. I think Nino here will be looking to get on top of it, maybe hit a cut volley. Good point of tennis. Nino's cut volley not quite enough. Better than last.
Lewis did really well on that point. Nino tested him out, or behind the back.
Another great rest there. Both players really going for it now. Deep into this third set. Lewis seems to have just found a little burst of energy. I think
He must be all be on fumes now, surely. He's deep into his 6th set, and none of the sets he's played today has been particularly easy.
I think that behind the back gave him a bit of energy to try and finish off that point and get something out of it. But
He's playing off that last gallery chase.
yeah,
Just so good into that forehand corner and ready for that volley when it came. Back live. 3 and 4 is the chase.
that was unlucky. It was good serve.
Just managed to find that gallery post. Just a few inches to the left, and that's a really good ball. That's just completely rolled. Nino's been playing that backhand corner a lot in the last little while, and that one is just no chance of getting out.
Advantage. Chase 1, 2.
What's that gallery doing there anyway?
Yeah, I wonder who put that one there.
It's such a frustrating ball when you're trying to boast it around and there's just no wall there for it to come off of. So this to tie it at 4-all. High stakes stuff here.
You know, just taking his time at this change of ends.
Yeah, again, not sure how that leg spilling which he treated during the break between the sets. If we were a bigger sport, bigger tournaments would have on-site physios to help out between, but unfortunately we're not quite big enough for that.
Lewis defending 1 and 2 here. Handed the opportunity, but Nino really couldn't quite capitalise.
4-all now.
It's a lovely ball.
Who cracks first?
Or who rises up to the big occasion. 4 games all.
I mean,
2 games to win the Category A championship.
toss a coin really. I mean, you're always going to have a few lucky bounces that go your way. You've just really got to make sure that you are not going to make any mistakes, because the court will play against you. Your opponent's rising as well. So tough just to close the match out.
And if we should go to a 5-all game, that will make for some very tense points.
One of the things with 5-all games that fascinates me is like the relative value of chases changes versus points. Like, if you're a love-all, are you willing to concede a stroke to prevent a chase being laid? But at 5-all, it's a very different story. And similarly, playing a hazard, do you let a hazard go at 5-all, 30-15 down?
We will see if we come to any of those decisions, but Nino at the moment defending 1 and 2.
Yeah, 2 short chases here for Nino.
Inches off that serve.
Just goes to show that you put a racket on the first one, your opponent is under so much pressure on such a short chase. All you've got to do is get it back over.
Exactly. That is a lovely shot there from Lewis Williams.
30 all.
4 all, 30 all. Who can get on top and take this vital ninth game of the 3rd set?
We've been going for 2¼ hours now.
It's all good for you, Ben. You're sat down. I've been standing up for this time.
Well, they've been out there playing.
Fair, yeah. You raised me there. 1 chase, 30 all.
So this must be going into Lewis's 5th hour on court today. See, if I'm Nino, I don't mind that conceding a chase the door at this stage in the set.
I think a chase like that opens up the court.
Especially given that they're already going to be changing ends next point anyway.
Yeah, I think a chase the door gives Nino that opportunity for a low drive or 2 of the biggest galleries. So Lewis is going to have to select a good serve for it. The first chase is a mid-length chase of ½ yard worse than 6. Lewis capitalises off the slightly long cut volley there from Nino. Chase the door. And a miss-hit return from Nino brings up a 5-4 lead for Lewis.
No mistakes possible now from Merola. He has to be spot on through 1 or 2 games. Williams just needs 4 more points.
Nino Merola. I was going to comment on how relaxed he looked during that point. And a high pressure scenario, must win game. Just stroking the balls into the corners.
And then he comes out with a big force like that.
And there is another.
One of the things that's absolutely fantastic about the sport is just how much fortunes can change late on. So if you compare to lawn tennis, where you can kind of know who's going to be winning a match a good way out, because if they're a couple of breaks ahead or so on, and it just means that you're tending to favour one side or the other a lot going into the end of the match, whereas this is just so tight. You've no way of knowing who's going to take this.
Yeah. Nino defending chase better than 3, I think.
Worse than 3. Worse than 3, the 40 love buffer.
Here we go.
5 games all. Final set.
One
5 games all.
game to decide the Category A Championship. Don't go anywhere, folks.
First point in Nino's favour with a lovely volley underneath the grill.
First point in Nino's favour, and he's got the serve.
But Lewis just taking his time. A second PK from Nino. And a
15 all.
good force from Lewis into the bottom corner of the dead on.
That looked a bit desperate from Williams there.
Right, mate. 30-15 serve leads.
Nino sets himself up for 2 match points, championship points.
That's the line.
So just a quick look at the one before, which Lewis tried to play between his legs. I think he's got his racket in his groin. Not pleasant, but he's desperate to do anything to try and close this out. So hazard the line 40-15. Championship point. 2 championship points.
Receive leads. That's the line.
And it's out of court from Nino.
He cannot believe that.
Lewis went for the unorthodox duck again.
Lewis was probably had it covered, to be fair.
Still another championship point from Merola.
Chase worse than 4.
See, this is what I say about the relative value of strokes and chases, because
But I don't think Lewis is willing to give away a stroke on that one.
no, but it's not a good chase. So we'll have a worse than 4 chase with another championship point. At a 5-all game.
Chase worse than 4.
Worse than 4 to beat. He's won the point. 5-all juice. Lewis defends 2 match points. And that is an amazing serve.
That is exactly when you need that serve.
Perfect timing from Merola. His 3rd match point of the tie.
With the nerves on that serve match point.
Onto the penthouse. Finds it inside of the grill, and Nino Merola is the Category A 0-9 champion. What a match that was. 6-5, 4-6, 6-5 in Nino's favour.
Wow, what an absolute thriller. Thanks so much for joining us.
In 5 minutes in the lounge.
So we will not have the presentations, that will be in the lounge here at Manchester, so we will leave you very shortly. But before we do, let's just have a look at the statistics for that.
Cheers, please.
Cheers, John.
2.5 hours,
Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Well,
223 points.
I suppose,
And in the end, it was just 3 difference. Merola behind on points, ahead on sets. He cannot believe it.
2 hours and 26 minutes for 3 sets of tennis.
Couple that on with another 2 hours that Lewis played this morning is absolutely incredible. But Merola, absolutely well done to him. A thoroughly deserved champion.
I think that is the result of a lot of hard work, a lot of training, and yeah, could not deserve it more.
Well, that brings us to the end of our coverage for this year's Category A 0 to 9s. We hope you have enjoyed it. It's the first year that this event has been covered online on the stream. And so if you are enjoying it and you want to see it again next year, do reach out and let us know. For now, from all of us here at the Manchester Tennis and Racquet Club, it has been an absolute pleasure having you with us. I've been Ben Gatenbeek.
And I've been Henry Hemman.
Goodbye for now.